Alright, let's go. Number 10, the 1991 VG alien probe candidate. In November 1991, astronomer James Scotty was working at the Kitt Peak Observatory, scanning the cosmos for near-Earth asteroids, when he discovered a fast-moving object designated 1991 VG. At first glance, it appeared to be just another small rock, measuring roughly 10 meters across. But as astronomers tracked its trajectory, the data began to reveal a profoundly unsettling reality. The object's heliocentric orbit was incredibly similar to Earth's, possessing a remarkably low eccentricity and an orbital period that perfectly mirrored our own planet. Objects in such orbits are exceedingly rare because Earth's gravitational pull usually clears them out or forces them to crash. The immediate scientific consensus was split, leading to a chilling hypothesis formally published by astronomer Duncan Steele. 1991 VG might be a Bracewell probe. A Bracewell probe is a hypothetical concept of an autonomous interstellar alien space probe designed to sit silently in another solar system, waiting and observing. The mathematics of interstellar travel suggest that rather than sending massive, energy-intensive generation ships, a highly advanced civilization would send millions of these tiny, uncrewed probes to neighboring stars. They would enter a stable orbit near a promising planet and simply wait for a technological civilization to emerge. For years, a faction of the astronomical community seriously entertained the idea that we were looking at an extraterrestrial artifact. It behaved like a returning spacecraft, leading some to wonder if it was a discarded Apollo rocket stage, but its specific trajectory didn't match known human launches. It was tumbling through our sky, a silent monolith watching our world. While recent advancements in tracking and the discovery of quasi-satellites, space rocks temporarily captured in complex orbital dances with Earth, have largely categorized 1991 VG as a natural asteroid exhibiting non-gravitational movement due to solar radiation pressure, the initial terror remains relevant. If an alien civilization is watching us right now, they won't arrive in massive motherships hovering over our cities. They will arrive as small, cold, 10-meter objects drifting silently in the dark, logging our radio broadcasts, and waiting for the right moment to phone home. Number 9. The weird signal from Ross 128. In May 2017, a team of astronomers led by Abel Mendez at the Arecibo Observatory in Puerto Rico pointed their massive 305-meter radio dish at a nearby star known as Ross 128. This star is a red dwarf, located just 11 light-years from Earth, making it one of our closest stellar neighbors. During a 10-minute observation window, the researchers detected an unexplained, highly anomalous broadband radio signal. The signal possessed a strange dispersion pattern, meaning its frequency cascaded down over time in a way that didn't match the typical background noise of the cosmos. The team officially labeled it the weird signal. The discovery sent shockwaves through the astronomical community. Red dwarfs are notoriously violent stars, prone to massive solar flares, but they do not typically emit cascading broadband radio waves in the 4.6 to 4.8 gigahertz range. Furthermore, the signal appeared to originate from a single point in the sky, directly aligned with Ross 128. For a few tense weeks, the terrifying possibility loomed. Was a civilization 11 light-years away trying to communicate? If an alien species resided in the Ross 128 system, they would be close enough to have received Earth's early radio and television broadcasts. The weird signal could have been their direct reply. Astronomers globally scrambled to point their instruments at the red dwarf. After extensive, highly scrutinized follow-up observations, the scientific consensus shifted to a more terrestrial, yet highly complex explanation. The signal was likely caused by interference from one or more geostationary human satellites orbiting Earth's equator, which perfectly aligned with the telescope's line of sight toward Ross 128. But the event left an indelible mark on astrobiology. It demonstrated exactly how first contact might happen. Not with a dramatic physical arrival, but with a strange, pulsing anomaly buried in the data of a radio telescope. It also exposed the chilling reality of our search. We are listening to the stars, but our own technological noise is becoming so loud that we might completely miss the whisper of a genuine alien neighbor trying to say hello. Number 8. The G-Hat Extragalactic Infrared Excess. When we look for aliens, we usually look for planets. But in 2015, a team of researchers led by Jason Wright at Penn State University decided to look much, much bigger. Following a foundational theory proposed by physicist Freeman Dyson in the 1960s, the team launched the Glimpsing Heat from Alien Technologies, or GHAT, survey. Dyson argued that a highly advanced civilization, specifically a Kardashev Type 3 civilization capable of harnessing the energy of an entire galaxy, would inevitably produce massive amounts of waste heat. According to the laws of thermodynamics, no energy transfer is 100% efficient. If an alien species has encapsulated billions of stars within Dyson spheres, or massive computational matrices like Matryoshka brains, the entire galaxy would glow with a distinct, unnatural mid-infrared signature. Using data from NASA's Wide Field Infrared Survey Explorer, or WISE, the GHAT team combed through 100,000 nearby galaxies, searching for this specific thermal fingerprint. Most galaxies looked exactly as expected, radiating heat from natural dust clouds and star-forming regions. However, the survey flagged roughly 50 galaxies that exhibited unusually high levels of mid-infrared radiation that could not be easily explained by standard astrophysical models. The implications of this survey are profoundly terrifying. We are not talking about a civilization that has built a few spaceships or colonized a neighboring moon. A Kardashev Type 3 civilization has essentially converted its entire galactic home into an engine. Every star, every planet, every asteroid is broken down and repurposed into a vast, galaxy-spanning machine. The 50 anomalous galaxies discovered by the GHAT team are currently the subject of intense follow-up studies to determine if natural processes like extreme starburst events or supermassive black hole activity can account for the heat. But if even one of those galaxies owes its infrared glow to technological waste heat, it means we are sharing the universe with gods. Entities so ancient and powerful that they manipulate the cosmos on a scale we can barely comprehend, turning entire galaxies into computational substrates while we are still struggling to leave our own atmosphere. Number 7. The HD 164,595 signal. On May 15, 2015, the Russian Academy of Sciences RATAN 600 radio telescope, nestled in the Caucasus Mountains, detected an incredibly powerful radio burst. It originated from the direction of HD 164,595, a star located 94 light-years away in the constellation Hercules. What made this signal so heart-stopping was the nature of the star itself. HD 164,595 is essentially a solar twin. It is roughly the same size, temperature, and composition as our own Sun, and it is known to host at least one Neptune-sized exoplanet. It is the exact kind of system where we would expect an Earth-like world, and potentially intelligent life, to form. The signal was detected at a frequency of 11 GHz and possessed an amplitude that defied casual explanation. When the data was eventually leaked to the international SETI community in 2016, scientists ran the numbers, and the results were horrifying. For a signal to reach Earth from 94 light-years away with that level of power, it would require energy on an unfathomable scale. If it was an isotropic beacon, a signal broadcast equally in all directions into space, it would require the entire energy output of a Kardashev Type 2 civilization, a species capable of harnessing 100% of their star's power. If it was a targeted beam aimed directly at our solar system, it would still require the power output of a highly advanced Type 1 civilization. Observatories around the world, including the Allen Telescope Array, immediately pivoted to stare at Hercules, listening desperately for a repeat transmission. They found nothing but the quiet hum of the void. Eventually, the Russian researchers released a statement concluding that the anomaly was most likely terrestrial interference, specifically a classified Soviet military satellite passing through the telescope's field of view. But the HD 164,595 event serves as a grim reminder of our vulnerability. If a hostile or indifferent civilization 94 light-years away truly possesses the technology to blast signals of that magnitude across the interstellar gulf, they also possess the power to traverse it. The event forced astronomers to confront the reality that first contact might not be a gentle greeting, but a blinding demonstration of power from a species millions of years ahead of us in the evolutionary arms race. Number 6. The BLC-1 signal from Proxima Centauri. In April and May of 2019, the Parkes Observatory in Australia was focused on Proxima Centauri, our closest stellar neighbor sitting just 4.2 light-years away. The observation was part of the Breakthrough Listen initiative, the most comprehensive search for alien intelligence ever undertaken. In late 2020, researchers sifting through the data found something that caused the entire astrobiology community to hold its breath. It was designated BLC-1, Breakthrough Listen Candidate 1. BLC-1 was a narrowband radio signal at exactly exactly 982.002 MHz. In nature, astrophysical processes produce broadband radio waves. Narrowband signals are the hallmark of technology. Furthermore, the signal exhibited a specific drift rate, shifting slightly in frequency over time. This is exactly what you would expect to see from a transmitter located on a rotating, orbiting planet, causing a Doppler shift as it moves relative to Earth. Most importantly, the signal passed the ultimate SETI filter. It only appeared when the telescope was pointed directly at Proxima Centauri, and it vanished when the telescope looked away to check for background interference. For months, the chilling possibility hung in the air. What if the closest star to our own sun hosts a technological civilization? It would mean the universe is absolutely teeming with life. It would also mean we have an advanced alien neighbor right on our cosmic doorstep, watching us. It took researchers nearly 2 years of exhaustive forensic analysis to finally crack the mystery. In late 2021, they published papers revealing that BLC-1 was not an alien broadcast, but a highly complex, mathematically improbable combination of intermodulation from multiple human-made radio frequency sources on Earth that accidentally perfectly mimicked an extraterrestrial technosignature. While the conclusion was a disappointment, BLC-1 proved that our detection algorithms work. It also delivered a profound existential shock. For an entire year, humanity's brightest minds had to seriously grapple with the idea that an alien intelligence was transmitting from the star next door, fundamentally altering how we perceive the silent darkness just beyond our solar system. Number 5. The Vasco Project's Vanishing Stars. Stars do not simply vanish. According to the fundamental laws of astrophysics, a star's lifespan is a predictable process. When massive stars die, they explode in brilliant supernovae that outshine entire galaxies. When smaller stars like our sun reach the end, they slowly expand into red giants and gently shed their outer layers over billions of years. Unless a star collapses directly into a black hole, an extraordinarily rare event, there is no natural mechanism for a star to just disappear from the sky. Yet, this is exactly what the Vasco Project is finding. VASCO, which stands for Vanishing and Appearing Sources During a Century of Observations, is an international research initiative led by Dr. Beatriz Villarroel. The team painstakingly compares photographic plates of the night sky taken by the United States Naval Observatory in the 1950s with modern digital sky surveys. Thus far, they have identified over 100 star-like objects that were clearly visible 70 years ago, but are completely gone today. No explosion, no dimming, just erased from the cosmos. While many of these vanishing acts could be extreme, poorly understood natural transients like massive stellar flares that briefly illuminated dim red dwarfs, the Vasco team openly acknowledges the terrifying alternative. What if we are witnessing the construction of alien megastructures? An advanced civilization building a Dyson sphere around its host star would gradually, or perhaps rapidly, block out the star's light until it vanished from the visible spectrum entirely. Alternatively, a civilization utilizing Shkadov thrusters, massive stellar engines designed to physically move a star system through the galaxy to avoid cosmic hazards, might alter the star's trajectory so radically that it leaves our line of sight. The Vasco Project is mapping the exact coordinates of these missing stars, suggesting that if we want to find alien empires, we shouldn't look at the stars that are shining. We should point our telescopes at the dark, empty spaces where stars used to be, and listen for the civilizations hiding in the shadows of the suns they conquered. Number 4. Fast Radio Burst 180,916's 16-day cycle. Fast radio bursts, or FRBs, are one of the most violent and mysterious anomalies in modern astronomy. They are flashes of radio energy from deep space lasting mere milliseconds, yet discharging as much power as our sun produces in decades. When they were first discovered, they appeared randomly across the sky as chaotic one-off explosions. But in 2020, scientists using the Canadian Hydrogen Intensity Mapping Experiment, or CHIME, radio telescope detected an FRB that broke all the rules. Designated FRB 180,916, this signal originated from a spiral galaxy 500 million light-years away. But unlike its sporadic cousins, this burst repeats. And it doesn't just repeat, it operates on an exact, mathematically precise schedule. For 4 days, the source fires off bursts of radio waves. Then, it falls completely silent for exactly 12 days. After the silence, the 4-day bursting phase begins again. The entire cycle lasts exactly 16.35 days. This was the first time an FRB was found to have a regular, cyclic periodicity. Astrophysicists scramble to find natural models to explain this clockwork precision. Theories propose a highly magnetized neutron star orbiting a massive black hole, where the radio emissions are only visible to Earth when the star's orbit brings it out from behind the black hole's dense accretion disk. But the extreme regularity has inevitably sparked discussions of artificial origin. What if this isn't a natural cosmic collision? What if it is a beacon? A highly advanced civilization might construct immense, galaxy-spanning navigation networks, interstellar lighthouses pulsing with unimaginable energy to guide automated ships across the void. The 16-day cycle could be the sweep of a directed energy beam rotating on a massive engineered axis. While science rightfully leans toward exotic natural physics, FRB 180,916 forces us to consider the chilling possibility that the deepest, most violent phenomena in the universe might not be natural chaos, but the highly ordered infrastructure of an intelligence that operates on a scale spanning millions of light years. Number 3. Oumuamua's anomalous acceleration. On October 19, 2017, astronomer Robert Warwick detected something impossible using the Pan-STARRS telescope in Hawaii. An object designated 1I 2017 U1 was moving through our solar system on a hyperbolic trajectory, traveling at 26 kilometers per second relative to the Sun. This was humanity's first confirmed detection of a visitor from beyond our solar system. As it tumbled through space, its brightness varied drastically, revealing an extreme elongation, perhaps 10 times longer than it was wide, unlike any asteroid or comet nucleus ever observed. But what transformed Oumuamua from an astronomical curiosity into a profound mystery was its behavior as it departed. Oumuamua was accelerating. Comets typically accelerate when solar heating causes ice to vaporize, creating a rocket-like thrust through outgassing jets. However, Oumuamua showed no coma, no tail, and no spectroscopic evidence of gas emission, even when it passed closest to the Sun's heat. It was accelerating through empty space with no visible mechanism. This anomaly led Harvard astronomer Avi Loeb to propose what many considered unthinkable. Oumuamua might be artificial, a light sail pushed by radiation pressure, defunct technology from a civilization we cannot imagine. Most natural explanations struggle to account for all of its bizarre properties. We had only weeks to study it before it became too faint to observe, disappearing into the darkness beyond Saturn's orbit, never to return. Whatever it was, it passed through our solar system and vanished, leaving us with the unsettling realization that we may have already encountered evidence of alien technology and failed to recognize it. Or worse, we recognized it perfectly, and they were testing whether we were intelligent enough to understand what we were seeing. Number 2. Tabby's star and the megastructure. In 2015, citizen scientists scanning data from NASA's Kepler Space Telescope flagged something that shouldn't exist. A star designated KIC 8,462,852, located 1,470 light-years away in the constellation Cygnus, was dimming in ways that defied every known astronomical phenomenon. Unlike the predictable, regular dips caused by orbiting planets, this star would randomly lose up to 22% of its light. To put that into perspective, an amount so extreme means that if a Jupiter-sized planet caused it, we'd need 22 Jupiters passing simultaneously. The dimming events showed no periodicity and no pattern, lasting anywhere from days to weeks. Natural explanations fell short. A swarm of comets didn't match the spectroscopic data, and interstellar dust lacked the expected infrared signature. This lack of natural consensus led to a hypothesis that captured worldwide attention. What if we're observing a Dyson swarm, a partially constructed alien megastructure designed to harvest stellar energy? The uncomfortable truth is that any civilization capable of interstellar travel has already solved scarcity on their homeworld and needs resources on scales we can barely imagine. While most astronomers favor complex natural explanations involving circumstellar material, follow-up observations have detected multiple dimming events with characteristics that don't perfectly match any natural process we know. The star continues to be monitored by telescopes worldwide, its light curve analyzed for patterns that might reveal whether we're witnessing exotic astrophysics or something far stranger. Among the 150,000 stars Kepler observed, this one remains utterly unique, a cosmic anomaly that refuses to conform to our understanding of how stars should behave. If we are watching an alien civilization build a megastructure, we are witnessing the engineering of a species that views stars not as distant suns, but as massive batteries waiting to be tapped. Number 1. the WOW signal's lonely echo. At 11:16 p.m. on August 15, 1977, the Big Ear Radio Telescope at Ohio State University received a signal from space so powerful and precisely structured that it seemed to be exactly what scientists had been searching for: evidence of extraterrestrial intelligence. Astronomer Jerry Amon discovered it 2 days later while reviewing computer printouts. The intensity was so extraordinary that he grabbed a red pen, circled the data, and wrote a single word in the margin: "Wow." The signal lasted exactly 72 seconds, the maximum time the telescope's design allowed it to observe any point in the sky as Earth's rotation swept the beam across the heavens. What made the WOW signal remarkable wasn't just its strength, 30 times more powerful than background radiation, but its specific characteristics. The transmission occurred precisely at the hydrogen emission line, the most fundamental frequency in the universe associated with the cosmos's most abundant element. This is precisely the frequency scientists had theorized an alien civilization would choose for interstellar communication. Furthermore, the signal was narrowband, far narrower than natural astrophysical sources, which typically emit across broad frequency ranges. Despite immediate follow-up observations and decades of subsequent searches with increasingly powerful instruments, the WOW signal has never been detected again. In 2022, the Breakthrough Listen project performed intensive surveys of the region and found nothing. After 45 years, the WOW signal remains the strongest candidate for an extraterrestrial transmission ever recorded. It was a 72-second whisper from the cosmos that matched every prediction for how aliens would announce their presence, and then it fell silent forever. Perhaps it was a targeted beacon that moved on to scan other systems, or the final transmission of a dying world. I'll be sharing more similar videos in the future, so subscribe to stay tuned.